department of Bvoc Software Technologies. I welcome our resource person today, Mr. Nilkan Shirokar, the lead software engineer at ATO's Bangalore. He has completed his BE in Information Technology at Sri Raishwar Institute of Engineering, Shiroda, and later pursued his MTech in Computer Science at the Goa University. He has earlier worked as a lead software engineer at Persistent Systems Vienna, Goa, and has 7+ years of experience in the field of IT industry. So, we are grateful to you for accepting our invitation and becoming a resource person for today's event. I request Ms. Shruti to present a flower to Mr. Nilkan Shirokar. Thank you, Shruti. So, today's session is going to be all about Angular JS, Node.js, and MongoDB. So it's going to just speak you all about Node.js and AngularJS, the front end, the back end, and how to develop it. He's going to show you a small program how to develop like Hello World program. And if time permits, we are going to do a small application in it. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So today we will be discuss about the full stack web application development. So I'm audible, right? Yeah, audible. Okay, so today I'll be going to show you the small demo, like how to create a Hello World application in JS, and then after that we will be also developing a small web application, like we will be creating front end Angular JS. So basically, JavaScript is a programming language wherein we can build front end as well as back end. And after that, we will be going to develop a back end using a Node.js technology. So basically, a front end and back end will be a JavaScript. So basically, first a JavaScript. So JavaScript basically we used to develop front end and then, basically JavaScript whatever we are running on the front end object, say a front end is running on the browser. So you must have seen Facebook, Instagram, this application. So how these applications are built? Basically, we have a front end wherein whatever you see on Instagram, the front end runs on a back object, and after that we have a back end technologies which is running behind the scene, basically on a server. So whenever you are that is getting processed by the and then the data. I'll also teach you the process how this front-end let us start with the tools and software what we are using in companies. Basically, as Arishma has already said, like I'm the Atos Bangalore. So, what technologies we are using in our company and so basically for the text editor to develop and code, we are using a VS Code. So optional is Atom and Sublime text. Sometimes we use Sublime text also. So if you want, you can just note down and you can just download and afterwards you can run it on your system also. And for the browsers, we are using Chrome. So all of you have must use Chrome. Okay, so for image editing, we are using Photoshop's deployment tool. So whenever we are developing an application, so we need to deploy it on the server. So that we can't run it on local machine because get access to the internet because all just deploy. So deployment we are using FTP client and access client. So basically uh, upload our files to the and then cloud storage we are using the Dropbox. But basic thing first we need to understand the web development is a HTML and CSS. This is the basic criteria. So whenever we are going to start with web development, we need to know this HTML and CSS. Basically, HTML. Every website runs on HTML. So design a website, we need to know the HTML for the B part of the web. And CSS is basically used to give a design like animations and all the whatever you see on the website. So those are given by the CSS. We have lots of CSS frameworks also like Flex, Grids and all, so, which are already in design and we can directly implement. Then next part is then the basic of JavaScript, how JavaScript is working, basic object-oriented programming, which is a vast topic, but just note down and you can go through some videos on the object-oriented. Very important. So then we have lots of data types in programming. So integers, float, strings, all. So, and then functions. So basically we mostly write a generic code kind of thing. So wherein we have the functions and these functions will do all the logical part in that. So we don't directly write an application. So we create generic kind of functions which can be used for the multiple applications or multiple code. So repetition of the code is having functions. Then conditions like if condition is one of the functions, while conditions and all things. Okay. Loops, so for loops. Then operators like double equal to multiplications and all those things. Okay. So term manipulation. So basically we have in HTML we have the headers, then tag, then H1 tags and titles. Uh, Funny cricket. So I'll be showing you the demo with that. So manipulating the DOM. So on the run, we need to make changes in the DOM. So basically, you must have used the application. So this application never get refreshed. So it will be automatically on the fly. It will be manipulating the data. So then Ajax call. So basically from the front end, whenever we are calling the front end, so we need to make a Ajax call. We have multiple Ajax call like get, push, delete, update. These are the Ajax call. Then recently this ECMART ECMAScripts with like arrow functions, and this is the high level JavaScript. So once you are very good in this JavaScript functionalities, functions, conditions, then we can move arrow functions, promises, templating. So basically, to increase the performance of JavaScript, we have implemented. So deployment. So once the application is been ready on the local machine, so we need to deploy that websites on the servers. So basically, we are using shared hosting, also uh, some like host getters and digital oceans and all. There are multiple hosting services provided, so wherein we can upload those sites on the hosting. So then, so whenever we are taking the host data, so we have a C panel wherein it gives a user interface to upload the websites on the servers. So for uploading the websites, we are using FTP, the protocol. Okay. For that, we are using FileZilla as well. And then uh, must have seen Instagram and Facebook. These are the domains. So for registering the domains, are using Bvoc and all GoDaddy. So these are the service provided for the domain. Okay, so basically, a domain name is just the server will be having an IP address. Okay, so and domain name in that. Okay. So it is very difficult to remember the IP address. So whenever we are going to post a website, yes, hosting will be giving us the IP. So now see the Facebook, Instagram. So whenever these names are very easy to so, but the internal things is that whenever we go to the Facebook.com, it will be basically going to an IP address. So IP address will be like 127.8.8 or 6 or something. So to make it easy, we are actually the Angular is one of the framework which is being developed by Google, okay, and vastly used in most of in a huge demand for uh, Angular and React. These are the two frameworks which is being widely used in the for the job opens. So when learning these two frameworks, it will mostly take you like around 6 months to learn. Okay, if you are a developer, then it will take like 1 month to learn, but for you it take you 6 months to learn. But there's huge opportunities and money. So basic for you, you can create a simple website by HTML, then taking a Photoshop, trying to convert it to HTML and CSS and some dynamic UI with JavaScript like page, button, text, and giving a function. Okay. So, so what we can use for this HTML and CSS? So basically, there are lots of frameworks and all, but I just what are the popular frameworks which in IT companies. So the HTML and CSS framework, we are using a Bootstrap Material UI. Okay. So and front end JavaScript technology. We are using React. Basically, React is being developed by the Facebook, and Angular is being developed by Google. So these two frameworks are most widely used. I have lots of demand in market. So basically, React is an library, and Angular is a framework. So as you develop the applications, you understand what is meant by framework and what is a library. So basically, a library can be in any application. So just we need to the library, and then we can use it. But Angular is a framework, so we can't just there is already an existing application, so, and we are trying Angular in that, so it is not possible because Angular is a framework, so it will be providing all modules and whereas React is a library, so library we can input in any application and start using, and Facebook is using. Okay, so then this is a front end side. Okay. Next is a server side languages. So there are lots of server side languages like PHP, which was being used to develop Facebook earlier in the backend, but now PHP don't have that much of demand in the market. So now latest technologies are like Node.js and Python. So it is based on an application. What kind of application you are developing? So suppose if it is an application which is being for building a IO extensive applications, like there are lots of file reading things. There's if we are developing IoT kind of application, then we must go with the Node.js. But if we are having a application which is being, working extensively with data science, like machine learning, data mining, then we mostly go with Python, which because we are having lots of libraries that present for data science. The scikit-learn is one of the library which is used for data science. So then we are having the data. So database basically there are two types of database. One is relational database. So basically, what do you mean by relational database? That there is SQL Server. So there will be a relation like one to many kind of relation, wherein we will be having a primary for it. So it is bit difficult to tell you in detail about this, but you can down and search for that. So that's a relational database. MySQL, uh, MySQL is a Microsoft, I would say, relational database, and then MongoDB is a non-relational, wherein we don't have any foreign key or so basically it's a block of data where we can put it. So there is no kind of schema in it, wherein the putting student has a table and then take as a first name, last name, this age, this kind of is in the student table. In the MongoDB, when we are not providing each of the student, it will add the data. But it's not the same case with MySQL. MySQL, you have to put all the data, like first name, last, all data is. So based on the requirement, you can select on that. You are having a huge amount of data which you don't know what will be coming in the database. So that time we go with the MongoDB. But we know what data we that time select SQL and if there is a lot of changes. And and are having a prevalence CSS. So data booster is one of the most popular things of developing a front end and materialize it. So material. So basically, Android one are the steps. Let's use so uh, front end tech. So as I already discussed, React and Angular. Vue.js is this has been developed by one of the Google ex-employees. So it's a basically a combination of Get and Angular. So basically, uh, Vue.js is also private uh, with any of the existing, but that's in the JS. We have two-way data binding. So the concept for data binding basically a simple is are like further reflection. So without refreshing the action that so some simple basically at yet the React support two-way data value so only supports one-way data value and Vue.js so basically combinations and get the support is such as one-way data value two-way. So then so once the code is ready, so there will be a multiple developers. So that time we have version control. Basically, two main developers are for it. So not every time we share the data for and version. So we use a version control. So we have Git wherein we commit the code and also other developers can. So if there is a big one developers are ready on the same file that that we get a conflict, we can resolve it. So basically maintaining the and like working with an teams. That time we use a Git. So Git is one of the most popular most of the companies. So then the basic command line, so in folder navigation, options, so basic understanding of the command line. Then we have the REST APIs that discuss about like get. So get data to get the data from the server. So and then post. Whenever we are form, we are so the data, the data. So whenever we want to get the data from the server, we use a get method. And whenever we like login form, so these are the post sign up forms. Are the post. So wherein we'll be posting the data to the team. So basically, a writing data. Then we have the put. Put method is one use it for updating the put. Then delete. Delete is to delete the record. So then HTTP protocol SSL, SSL, these are the servers and like SSL, HTTP. Whenever we are using an SSL circuit, that time we have the HTTPS, must have seen HTTP and HTTPS is a secure. So whenever we have the online transaction and all, so that time we need to see if that website is secure on HTTPS is there. So whenever there is a online payment transaction, so the website needs to have the SSL server. And then CSS pre-processing. So multiple fingers have been CSS. So SAS and this. So wherein we can put the variables and all the CSS. So Webpack and tables. These are the module loaders JavaScript compiler. So basically, uh, in the JavaScript have a TypeScript. So basically a TypeScript superset of the JavaScript. TypeScript developer. So basically, if the developers is ready to understand object oriented, then so the developers work with TypeScript. So TypeScript, uh, it's kind of a but TypeScript cannot be run on the browser. Browser, Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox, and all, they only understand JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Not So if we are writing a code in a TypeScript or any other technologies, so we need to compile it and to it in the JavaScript. So that time we use a webpack table. Also there are lots of JavaScript code. So this will be making a lots of call to the server side also. This code will be stored on the server side. So front end will be making a lots of call to the server. So to reduce this calls, there are 20 calls to the JavaScript on the backend. So to reduce this call, we are creating only one file like main.javascript. Yes. So and then this all code will be combined in one main.file and all the byte spacing. So it will be a minimal file size. So it will increase the performance of website speed. Data to increase the speed of a website, it's a webpack device. It's a TypeScript, JavaScript. So then backend technology server side. So Node.js. So JS is if you want a fast development, that time we go with this scalable code. So basically non-talking ISO that are discussing. So then Python has lots of for basically a data science. We have some frameworks like Django and Flask. Basically, Node.js we have Express. Before Python we have a Flask develop a web application. So PHP one of the popular framework is a WordPress. So lots of people are developing a website for WordPress. So to create a blog is very easy to create a blog. So in like us using a WordPress, so it's a content management system. So Ruby on Rails. So it's a Laravel development. C Sharp and ASP.NET. So Microsoft supported frameworks. So have huge support. So basically C Sharp and if you take a license from so I mostly prefer Node.js Even if you want to develop any like algorithmic or express value and the front end and put the database side. So database we have a MongoDB, NoSQL, non-relational. We use while Java, Node.js, okay, MySQL, relational data. PostgreSQL also nowadays lots of companies are using PostgreSQL. Uh, PostgreSQL is a relational database, but this doesn't have any licensing, so it's open source. So uh, in the companies, big companies, if they are using a licensing, so take care of all the license. So that's the reason earlier people is companies used to MySQL, but nowadays they are using then SQL Server, Microsoft. Oracle basically in the banking side, the highly secured banking section, data section, uh, in, then Firebase. This is mostly used to while developing a while very easy to use. So it's very small applications that have Firebase. So just need to register with the Firebase and start the framework JavaScript. JavaScript has an Express. These are the frameworks which are the one the company. Then Python Swagger is basically a API. So it has developer writes APIs and yes, over there are testers also. So they also know what is going on the API. So they don't have much idea about it. That time we use a Swagger tool to write to make understand to the testers like what parameters need to be passed for the APIs. So Django is one of the framework class. This Flask and Django almost well. PHP framework Laravel and Symfony code ignited. But nowadays, PHP was widely used early. Nowadays, people use much PHP. Ruby on Rails, C Sharp. Yeah. So from this, you can select any one or then for starting, we can work with a content management system. So also blogs. So basically, a small website to be published on the live server. So WordPress is one of the best CMS to start working. Blogging. Also, there is one bloggers.com from the web. So for the start, you can that in so you can also add it in and start website. And once you are done, and once you are expert at bloggers.com, you can try out this WordPress. So WordPress has lots of advantages like SEO, search engine optimization. We can use lots of plugins in that WordPress, and we can be customize them. So it's very easy for using a web. So it's a very fast development deployment. uh, Virtual private servers, dedicated servers, and cloud hostings. So basically, we in our company using AWS servers and Google Cloud, and that if you This AWS and all are costing very around. So basically a SaaS rate, how much you so more than $100 or so. But you want to start with any of the web apps, the Ocean is one of the best service providers for the cloud hosting just dollars per month. Then so most of the my personal application we are using digital ocean. Then cloud storage, S3 storage. So we have lots of we are stored on the store. And then working with SSH like making second. Basically, whenever we take a server, it will be HTTP. And then we will have to add SSL certificate for that to make it as secure server menu. So we are using this we are using Ubuntu server. So every month or every update server. Okay, then developing a mobile application. So basically nowadays we don't have to develop a separate mobile app. So basically using a JavaScript to develop. So using a head, head. So basically um, there is a React native. So if you know only one language, JavaScript, so this React native is also JavaScript. So using this React native, reduce the so can also help. So there is one more thing, Ionic framework. So basically whatever technologies which we are using, like Mongo DB in the database, is in the backend side, then front-end. The same thing has been used with an framework, but to build it for the Android and iOS, we are having Cordova or some switch to compile it, make it publishable on the Play Store. So to help those things, we are using only framework. So this is develop the mobile. So we don't have to do much with uh, plugins things or Cordova, like creating an APK file. So the Android application will be. So to develop this APK file, we are using Island. So in their Cordova, Xamarin, C Sharp. So basically, this has their programming language. So if you are good in C Sharp technologies, then Xamarin. But these are the most popular frameworks which in for development. So so creating a simple application, they will see how enrollment. Also, I had developed one applications to-do list kind of giving this get the data from the post so basically whenever I say the client side scripting, so client side is a browser so browser. So whatever you are getting on the browser, it's a client side. So in the client side, I think on this that client side we are using on the web browser. And the server side we are using a node. So basically a server side is used to process the data. Client side is just used to store the data on the browser. But if there is any logical things, so if you are taking a web application for images, so, so in the client side you will be having an upload. So on the click of upload button, So that image will be uploaded. So using a post method will be uploaded to the server. Okay. And then server side we will having a scripting thing wherein it will be editing the image like filters, all those things, the background, all those things, whatever is your request, that will be done on the server side. Also, it will be storing that image in the data. So I have got AWS instance that can be stored in the server also database side. And then it will be returning back to the client, okay, with an image process image. So that is basically a process. So we have a front end which will just update and then processing will be done in the backend side, such as this, and then database image will be stored in the database. So I hope you understood. Very any doubts still here? Please. Yeah. So basically in persistent, okay. So in persistent, we were developing applications using an Ionic framework. So for Ionic framework, we were using a VS Code. VS Code. Okay. So ID VS Code, and then one more is an Android Studio. If a person is developing the Android application, pure. So basically in mobile applications also, we are having a hybrid applications and native applications. Okay. So basically hybrid applications are being developed like we don't have to develop application separate for iOS and Android. So basically what we do, we create a web application, same code in process, okay, and then that process code is being used for Android and same code has been used for the iOS also. So basically to create an APK file we as a Ionic framework. So that framework we can use to ID for Ionic framework is a VS Code. We are using a VS Code and also Sublime text, but in the companies we were using. And then if the person is doing a native application, Android application, then he can go with an Android Studio. Okay, but for that he need to have a strong understanding of Java. Java is basically a strongly object oriented, so need to have object oriented concept. But JavaScript speed easy as compared to Java. That's what I feel because I have got the JavaScript. That's it. Any questions? Yeah. So for Android application, if you Android Studio, right? So for that you can use a Firebase data. Firebase. Okay. So basically it's kind of a MongoDB, but uh, Firebase is being supported by Google. So you can easily register with Firebase.com and then they will be giving you one JSON file. And you need to create a project itself. Okay. So then you need to download the JSON file in your options, and then you need to give a connection strings like they will be providing you the connection string, okay, that you need to add it in your ID. Okay. and then you can. It's a NoSQL data. So I think for your application, NoSQL database, if the application is very huge, that time we mostly go to SQL. So there are lots of relationships coming. But for small application, MongoDB 5 is so it's free. Free till some request. Okay. So monthly they have like around 1 lakh requests or something. Okay. Till that after that they charge. Okay. So but if you don't any credit card, the application will stop run. After that it's free. This part is clear. Clients are okay. Content. So this is the Angular JS. Basically a mean stack development. So stack yes, yes, express. Mean stands for MongoDB, M stands for MongoDB, E stands for Express, E stands for Angular, and N stands for Node.js. So we also have one stack will be will be replacing with an R. R stands with a real. So there are two kinds of stacks which are together. I have So Angular in Angular also if you are working with Angular 1.x and 2.x. So Angular 1.x is a JavaScript, Angular 2.x is a TypeScript. So you have to learn about what is JavaScript. Almost same, with honest. Basically, Node.js is built in a Google Chrome V8. So basically, running the JavaScript code on the server side also. So earlier we were having a set developers for the front end, then for the back end we were having developers also. Most popular this stage were like HTML and JavaScript, CSS, and then in the back end we were having PHP. So also even the Facebook when Facebook was started, they were using PHP in the back end, the MySQL in the database side, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. But now they had the like React on the front and backend there lots of them. So it's not a single thing. So basically these technologies what we are trying to do is like we are trying to make a decouple kind of so tomorrow if we are building an application play with JSON and tomorrow if we come with an requirement kind of data science. Okay. So that time we can use a Python. We can build an API endpoint in the backend side using a Python. All the libraries, the data side, and then from front end only one call will be going, and if the call will be going to the Python data science. So basically, a front end user will be able to get like what kind of technologies we so like a decoupled kind of relationship. So this also nowadays we are moving to the microservices. Same thing like we will be creating a small microservices wherein so tomorrow if one application goes down that won't be affecting the other applications. Okay? So small microservices will There in an example of a student management. So student attendance will be one microservice. Student performance will be one microservice. And student criteria or some things will be separate microservices to be created. And suppose if student attendance goes down, the service by from errors service goes, but is only affecting the performance, student performance. So application will be running, student performance tab will be running, but student attendance will be only down. So full application only going down. Only one part of the application will be going down. So this is basically known as a microservices which is being. So this is a new technology which is coming in the market, not being widely used. Basically, a Node.js is an open source, so start with uh, its new packagement. Okay, so if the Node.js is installed in your laptop, that is a small application. That okay, yeah, a small application. So, so two application demos are shown. First one is a simple, very simple, available. I just want how backend server. So So first, small hello applications like uh, how to run a hello world application, and then application. This is basically application. So you can see the local host. Local host means it is running on the local machine. Okay. So this is a small application which has been developed. Code operations like add, delete, update. So this is being connected to the database, MongoDB database, and so wherein we can and the front end is being developed using an Angular. So back end running on the boot. So if you are having a could just install on your machine small. So how many of you have the Node.js installed? Okay. So you PNG. Yeah. So using a command prompt also we can create a folder. So folders we are using a command for make directory on the desktop folder. Okay. So make directory can give a name for as app. So app folders will be created. Okay. So then we go to that folder. So app. Okay. So once the Node.js is installed on your machine, give you the version of the Node.js version installed on your machine. Currently I'm 16.1. Okay. So npm not talk about npm. npm is a package manager to install packages in the node. So if we want to send the mail or need to process and files, there are lots of packages which are present. So send mail to any users, creating an application and then it to then have tailors and so you can go on the official website npm. So you can search for any of the. So there are lots of things like express validators or middleware. file upload sessions. These are the multiple libraries which are present. So this makes us very easy development. We don't have to develop all the functionality. Using these libraries, we can develop and just need to understand what is library for. We don't need to write lots of code. Just code this express framework and that will start running yourself. So within just 5 minutes maximum, I'm just going in detail. But in within 5 minutes, you can start running your own server. Here you can find out the details about this library. What it is. Okay? Just need to run this command npm install express or npm I express. Okay. So I had already done it. Then type npm. So then you can give a package name. So I can say demo application. Yes. Just need to fill the details about this. So then entry point which I should be running stack. Starting point set by default text code. Head to and to say take test comma it repository. So it repository as I already mentioned about the version control. So if we are reaching we upload this code, uh, we can put the git repository. So it will be maintained in same. Git is a very huge topic wherein and explain keywords in first person. Okay. So this file will be created for us. So package.json. Okay. So package.json is basically file has been used by the developer. So we don't have to tell any other developers like what packages we are using. This package.json will be all the files. So for example, the demo application which I had created. So this is my backend application which I have created. So there are node and all those DB, Express, Cross, body parser. These are the dependencies and dev dependencies. So basically, your dev dependencies, these packages are only used for development purpose. Okay? And dependencies, this will be these packages which we will develop. Shortcut we think and the code will be on the. So I was talking about this ID. This is the VS Code ID which is to develop an application. So when I was for the Ionic framework also, this key can be used to develop applications. There are lots of things that we will be for years. Already given the this means we need a express program. Then we are that express head, and then basically all the codes and all are present. All just need to know how to use. In the express, uh, like npm express c message so that this will be stored the package and version. Next time, if we are sharing these files with any of the developers, we can just use npm install. This is one of the command which is, and then it will from the package or JSON, it will automatically get all the packages which are being installed, need to be installed, and it will install and start. So basically, these files is for the developers so that it will make them to understand what packages is used while developing application. So after that, can you type no f so so it's saying like example application. So we can go to the web browser. You can say it. So let's try it. So this we are saying we have done the route as a function request of the local code put default till this end. Interesting. We can also change the 5,000. Basically, code we are using, so we will be having a multiple projects with that. So like front end, like so for there are around three applications which is running. So there should not be a conflict between the applications. So we can specify the codes. So because all the applications will be running, uh, simply hello world at listening code file. So that will change the code. Okay. Here it was 3,000. Now we have changed. Yes. Same thing we can out the routes out where to come. Same. Then for this route we can go to the database also we can get it. When I was talking about the routes and methods, get, delete, so I was talking about it like creating the data from the data. So post is basically used to send data from front end to the back end. Put is used for uh, updating the data and delete is used to delete the other methods. Which is also one of the most important. Because when we are going for this data, this is just returning from the backend server, the front end. So to make this beautify, we can use HTML, then CSS, and we can give a design. And application, the this is a little big application. So just show the code base or out, and then in the left, you can have a or else This we will try to run that over that. Okay, so this is the Angular application. Package.json. You can see that it's running, but this application on 4200. Like this, we can have multiple applications running simultaneously, but changing the code. You can see the almost 4,000. So then this are having the app. So we have we are also having a says. Says we are writing table, field, text, line. This is the beautification of it, how the parents to giving us the. And then HTML is the front end, and then we have a TypeScript. TypeScript is a superset of a Java. So basically, for you like the fetching all these things are done in the components backend. The server we are saying same thing now we are thousand, and then we are giving a Mongo client we can use connect how we input the packages Mongo DB package for using APM, and then it's assigned to the Mongo variable and then we are connect that is something like this. And this is basically a config file data running the DB the code number. Basically, it's talking about the methods, the get method, get method. Whenever we are putting any data on the database, for example, create on click of save, it will be going to the Postman. You can see how it is of save will be going to the the route task. some kind of just check the route. The routes get deep and high. And ID. ID is fast. We need the complete function and with the expect and method. Basically, we need to have a good understanding with the method when we need any questions? Questions related to the application.
Shima,
Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. So this techniques are being highly in the so focusing only on one technology also Angular. So Angular is being supported by Google. So it will be having a huge scope. And also React is very difficult to learn. So that's the reason I'm focusing on it. React is also having a huge React is uh, developed by Facebook. So it's two techniques. And in the backend, Python is vastly used in data science and artificial intelligence. So even if we are working on this, uh, we have a huge scope. I think. So Python Node.js is basically whatever we are like. We have a smart watch, mobile application. So when there is a extensively file reading or file writes, so basically a smart watch and all. So we have a kind of IoT things. So reading the values. So that time mostly Node.js. So all these applications, smart, so, so, because of asynchronous, the speed is very fast, but only waiting for others to the response. You will be getting a quick response. Yeah. So, any questions? Any questions? So, yes. And so, uh, Node.js is a single threaded, but we can work with the worker nodes. Okay? So we can create some worker nodes also because I we are using a single thread to make it very fast. Okay, but suppose uh, uh, there is an application. Okay, so lots of calculations need to be done. So we are having a one endpoint kind of. We are passing a data and then calculation. Suppose that calculation is taking 10 minutes to calculate. A huge calculation. So that time what we can do is we can create a new worker node, a new node, a new thread, and then assign this huge task to that. Okay. So basically, if there is a huge calculations and all those things, that time only we go with a thread, creating a thread. Okay. Otherwise, we are using a single thread. We have an event loop in that. So basically, whenever there is a call, it will be going in the event loop. Okay? And from in that, it will be taking a next step. So it won't be waiting you till you get a response. Okay? So it will be done in the event loop. Event loop will complete the task and then it will send the promise and all. So that thing I'll not explain because it will be a huge thing. Promises and that's a lot complex. But yeah, so we have a worker nodes. So if there is a huge complexity, then we can create a new workers and then assign that task to that workers and then that worker will take care of it. So your application won't be waiting for you to send the response. So otherwise, what the traditional thing what was happening is that you were making a call, okay, then it was taking a 10-20 minutes of a based call, and you were getting a, just a loader over here. So that's not a good. So actually, basically, what we say, website should load in within 3 seconds. That's a good concept. People will wait on your website or web at 5 seconds. So we need to give a response as early as possible. For that, we have come the mode. So if you're planning to develop a mobile application or web application, so for me it is it have JavaScript. It is way better to learn JavaScript. So using one technologies can do so many things. Don't have to learn lots of technologies like uh, on the front end like JavaScript, backend, Python. Both are JavaScript, same concept. So if you are learning one programming language, you can use it on the front end. And database is the at least the basic ready. Ready. Any other questions?
We are having Android in the syllabus. So project the
Oh,
Android Studio.
so Android Studio we can Firebase. Firebase is one, or else MongoDB is also. Firebase, what will be do is that it will be a live data. So it will be directly created on the live server. So, but MongoDB, you will have to set up on your local machine and it won't be running. So when you are running it on your mobile application, that time you will only get the data. So that time if we are using a Firebase, it will be alive. So you will be getting the data. So data will be there. Also show it the presentation. Uh, JavaScript. So basically they have the support for all the language. So they are service provider for the database. So they will have support for PHP, then Android Studio, all the other. So you can use any of them and just they need to use their code to get connected. Django is a pipe. It's for Django we are connecting the database. Like how we have done the Node.js application. That's a backend code. And then MongoDB is a database. And same thing for Python, we are having a Django as a framework. So how Node.js we are having an Express.js. The same way we are having a for Python we are having a Django. From Django you can connect multiple databases like you can MongoDB, PostgreSQL, SQL servers. So whatever logical things you will be doing, it will be in the Django. Okay, logic thing. You can use a middleware. So basically, uh, like how people getting involved. Okay. So for that we can use a JWT token. Okay. So before going to the routes, okay, slash routes. So for example, so basically whenever from the branch, whenever we are getting data as a route, right? So all the logical things we will be writing away, correct? So before going to this call, we should use a middle middleware. Okay. So middleware for middleware we can use a JWT. Okay. So basically only a login user can use it. Something authorization. Okay. So this over here middleware will be checking whether the user is authorized. If that user is authorized, then only it will be going to the this one and returning the discount. Otherwise it goes some other error saying unauthorized users or something. So that security comes in middleware, making the cross things is also there. So basically making an application like only some IP address able to access. So from the front end, so from the Facebook, suppose take an example, only from Facebook we can get a call. So specifying the URLs, okay, and from others don't allow this. So those kind of settings. Anything else?
Good afternoon, everyone. Half of our principal, Madam Saman, IT Lecturer, Madam Ravina Kelkar, our Bvoc coordinator, Ma'am Scientist, all our faculty members and students of Department of Law and Computer Science. Professor Rajendra Kansari, would like to express my thanks to Mr. Shirokar sir, lead software engineer at company in Bangalore, for giving his valuable time and teaching our students with the concepts of JS, Node.js, and MongoDB. Thank you, sir. Sure that the insights of company that sir has shared with us will surely help our students in their final year projects or maybe. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. To everyone. We'll tell them to know. Now move on to tabs for the execution and so on. Next. It, Sunit, stop Mare. Stops. Stops.
And stream variant, stream, stream, short,